Have you ever walked into a room and felt a subtle shift? Or worried that the hugs from your grandchildren feel a little quicker than they used to? It's a quiet, gnawing fear that many of us face as we get older, a fear we rarely dare to speak aloud. Let me tell you about Evelyn, 72 years old. Her entire life was a monument to tidiness. A spotless home, laundry that smelled of sunshine, a daily, meticulous bath. She took pride in her appearance. But one sunny afternoon, her world tilted on its axis. Her 7-year-old granddaughter, Chloe, turned to her mother and whispered words that would echo in Evelyn's mind for weeks. "Mommy, why does Grandma smell funny?" Chloe wasn't being cruel. She was just being a child, painfully, innocently honest. But for Evelyn, that question was a dagger. Suddenly, 100 small, confusing moments clicked into place with horrifying clarity. The way Chloe would choose the far end of the sofa. The way she'd hold her breath for a fleeting goodnight kiss. The way she no longer clamored to sit on her lap for a story. That night, Evelyn lay awake in the silent darkness, the same question tormenting her over and over. Is it true? Do I have that old person smell? It's the one topic steeped in so much shame, yet it's a reality for millions. And I'm here today to pull back the curtain. Yes, there is a specific, distinct body odor that comes with the aging process. But what I need you to hear, more than anything else, is this. It is absolutely, unequivocally, not your fault. My name is Dr. Arthur Finch. At 77, I'm not just a doctor who has spent 50 years in geriatric care. I'm a man who has navigated these very waters himself. I'm here to tell you something most doctors are too uncomfortable to say out loud. That unique scent is real. It's a scent that nearly 99% of seniors cannot detect on themselves due to changes in our own olfactory senses. But younger people notice it almost instantly. Your children smell it. Your grandchildren smell it. But out of love, or a paralyzing fear of hurting your feelings, they say nothing. And so, good people like Evelyn are left in a lonely silence, their confidence slowly eroding, wondering, why do I feel this invisible barrier between me and the people I love? It's not about hygiene. It's not about laziness. This affects even the most pristine, diligent seniors. It's about biology, pure and simple. As our bodies age, they undergo a profound transformation. Our sweat glands change their output. The very chemistry of our skin's surface oils shifts. The saliva that once kept our mouths fresh diminishes. All of these biological changes combine to create a scent that's difficult to describe, but instantly recognizable. But here is the most powerful truth I will share with you today. This is a solvable problem. In fact, there are simple, science-backed steps you can begin taking today that can dramatically reduce, or even entirely eliminate, that scent within a matter of days. You do not need a cabinet full of expensive perfumes or miracle creams. This video will be your comprehensive guide, delivered gently, honestly, and with the deep respect you deserve. My goal is to empower you to feel confident again, to hug your grandchildren with abandon, to lean in close to the people you love without a shadow of a doubt. Because every single one of us deserves to age with unshakable dignity. Let's begin with the surprising science that nobody ever talks about. If you've ever wondered, is it all in my head? Let me reassure you, you are not imagining things. But you are also not to blame. This isn't a moral failing, it's a biological process. Let's break down the 3 core pillars of this change. First, your sweat production changes, and less is not more. It sounds like a benefit, doesn't it? Less sweating, less stickiness. But sweat is your body's essential, built-in cleaning service. In your younger years, your eccrine glands produced up to a quart of sweat daily, a constant, gentle flush that carried toxins, dirt, and metabolic waste out through your skin. After age 60, that output can plummet by more than half. When fewer toxins are flushed out, where do they go? They don't just disappear. They remain and accumulate on your skin, altering its pH balance and becoming a feast for odor-causing bacteria. Second, the oil on your skin changes its chemical makeup. This is the biological smoking gun, the part that shocks most people. After the age of 50, our skin begins to produce a unique unsaturated aldehyde called 2-nonenal. This compound is virtually non-existent on the skin of younger people. It's created when the omega-7 unsaturated fatty acids in our natural skin oil, or sebum, undergo a process called lipid peroxidation. Basically, they oxidize upon contact with air. As we age, our skin's natural antioxidant defenses weaken, making this process far more prevalent. And here is the crucial detail. 2-nonenal is lipid-soluble, meaning it's an oil. It doesn't dissolve in water. That's why a simple shower often isn't enough to remove it. It clings to the skin and fabric, producing a faint, distinct odor often described as grassy or waxy. Trying to cover it with perfume is futile. It's like trying to hide an oil stain with a spritz of water. It only creates a confusing, unpleasant new scent. Third, your mouth becomes progressively drier. The medical term is xerostomia, and it's incredibly common. After 60, our salivary glands can produce up to 50% less saliva. This is often accelerated by common medications for blood pressure, depression, or allergies. Saliva is your mouth's unsung hero. It's not just water. It's rich with enzymes like lysozyme that act as natural antibacterial agents. Saliva constantly washes away food debris and neutralizes the volatile sulfur compounds created by bacteria, the very gases that cause bad breath. When your mouth is dry, it becomes a perfect, stagnant incubator for these germs to multiply unchecked. If this deep dive into the why behind the change was illuminating for you, do me a favor and type biology in the comments. It helps me understand what you find most valuable. Now that you understand the why, let's get to the empowering how. The solution isn't about bathing more often. It's about bathing smarter. There are 3 critical body zones that most people of all ages inadvertently miss. These hidden areas are where up to 90% of that stubborn, unwanted odor originates. First zone, the skin folds and creases, your body's hidden bacteria zones. As we age, our skin naturally becomes softer and develops more folds. We must be intentional about cleaning these areas. The back of the neck, the delicate skin behind the ears, deep within the underarms, beneath the breasts for women, around the navel, in the groin, behind the knees, and inside the elbows. These warm, enclosed areas are perfect traps for sweat, dead skin cells, and that oily 2-nonenal. One of my patients, a vibrant 66-year-old named Sarah Jenkins, shared this with me. "Dr. Finch," she said, "I thought I was the cleanest person I knew, but I was just going through the motions in the shower. After my daughter started keeping her distance, I was heartbroken. You told me to focus on these hidden spots. Dr. Finch, it wasn't just a small change. It was everything. My grandson buries his face in my neck when he hugs me now. That's a feeling you can't put a price on." The solution: use a soft washcloth or gentle loofah with a mild, pH-balanced soap. Give these folded areas focused, gentle attention with warm, not hot, water. Second zone, the hairy areas, the body's natural sweat and oil collectors. I'm talking about the scalp, the chest, and the underarms. Hair acts like a wick, drawing sweat and sebum away from the skin but holding on to it. This is especially true for the scalp. Most people just apply shampoo to their hair, but they neglect to properly cleanse the skin underneath. That's where the oils and bacteria congregate. Tom Harris, a 62-year-old retired teacher, told me this story. "My wife is very direct. She told me my pillows had a strange smell. I was washing my hair every day. You told me to spend an extra 30 seconds just massaging my scalp with my fingertips. I felt silly at first. But after a week, my wife sniffed my pillow and said, 'It's gone. You just smell clean.' It was that simple." The solution: when you shampoo, use the pads of your fingertips to gently but firmly massage your entire scalp for at least 30 seconds to dislodge the oils. For chest or underarm hair, ensure you lather fully down to the skin and rinse thoroughly. Third zone, the major sweaty zones, your feet. toes, and palms. These areas have the highest concentration of sweat glands in the body. Your feet, in particular, spend all day trapped in the warm, dark, moist environment of socks and shoes, a paradise for odor-causing bacteria and fungi. John Miller, 68, a former mail carrier, confessed, "My feet were my secret shame. I'd take my shoes off and my daughter-in-law would find an excuse to open a window. It was humiliating. You explained it wasn't about being dirty, but about the environment. I started washing between each toe, drying them meticulously, and rotating my shoes. The problem vanished. It sounds small, but it gave me my dignity back." The solution: actively scrub your feet, especially between the toes. After your shower, dry them completely before putting on socks. And the golden rule: never wear the same pair of shoes 2 days in a row. Give them a full 24 hours to air out and dry completely. Now, let's move from external cleaning to internal rebalancing. These are 3 simple daily habits that work from the inside out. I call this the Fresh Start Trio. Habit 1. Begin your day with a glass of warm water. Before your coffee, before your tea, before anything else. Warm water on an empty stomach acts as a gentle, internal shower. It stimulates your digestive tract and gives your kidneys and lymphatic system, your body's primary waste disposal network, a jumpstart on flushing out the metabolic byproducts that can eventually be excreted through your skin. Evelyn, the grandmother from our opening story, made this her first change. "It was hard to give up my immediate coffee," she told me months later, "but I stuck with it. Within 2 weeks, I felt cleaner, lighter." Then one day, Chloe was on my lap, and she looked up at me and said, "Grandma, you smell like fresh laundry." I just started crying. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water total per day. And for every cup of coffee or tea you drink, add an extra glass of water to compensate for their diuretic effect. Habit 2. Take a short, gentle walk in the sunlight. I'm not asking you to run a marathon. A simple, 20-minute walk, once or twice a day, is profoundly effective. Why? First, it stimulates light perspiration, actively pushing toxins out. Second, the UV rays from gentle morning or late afternoon sun are a powerful, natural bactericide, helping to disinfect your skin's surface. Third, it boosts circulation, which is vital for healthy, vibrant skin. Fred Taylor, 75, has painful arthritis in his knees. "Exercise was a dirty word to me," he said, "but you framed it as a stroll." I started with 10 minutes to the end of the block and back. The fresh air felt good. The sun felt good. After a month, my wife commented that the stale smell in my recliner was gone. And honestly, I feel 10 years younger. Habit 3. Bathe daily, but turn down the heat. A scalding hot shower feels wonderful, but for aging skin, it's a catastrophe. Water that is too hot violently strips your skin of its protective lipid barrier. This causes 2 problems. It leads to dryness and irritation, and it can paradoxically cause your glands to overproduce oil to compensate, trapping odor-causing bacteria beneath it. The fix is simple. Keep your shower comfortably warm, between 98 and 105 degrees Fahrenheit. It should feel pleasant, not steaming. And once a week, treat yourself to a warm bath. Soaking for 15 to 20 minutes allows your pores to open gently, releasing deep-set grime and oils. And always pat yourself completely dry, paying special attention to those folds and creases we discussed. Damp skin is a welcome mat for bacteria. If you are willing to commit to these 3 simple habits for just 1 week, I want you to encourage yourself and others by typing "Fresh Start" in the comments below. Let's build a community of action. Now, let's look at your plate. Because you don't just are what you eat, you smell like what you eat. First, flood your system with antioxidant-rich foods. Remember that process of lipid peroxidation? Antioxidants are the Navy SEALs that fight it from the inside. Think vibrant colors, the deep red of tomatoes, the rich blue of blueberries, the bright green of spinach. Also, apples, whole grains like brown rice, and green tea. Paul King, a 79-year-old widower, told me, "You said an apple and a tomato a day." It sounded too simple, but I was lonely and willing to try anything. 2 months later, my granddaughter, who rarely visited, stayed for dinner. She hugged me goodbye and said, "Grandpa, you smell like sunshine." That one comment. It was like the sun came out in my own life again. Second, embrace garlic and onions. I know what you're thinking, but while they affect your breath in the short term, their long-term effects are amazing. They are rich in sulfur compounds like allicin, which are powerfully antimicrobial. Once digested, they help cleanse your blood and fight the internal bacteria that contribute to body odor. The key is to cook them, which mellows their immediate effect while retaining their benefits. Third, prioritize hydrating fruits and vegetables. Foods like cucumber, celery, and watermelon are over 90% water. Eating them is like hydrating your body on a cellular level, supporting your kidneys so waste is efficiently removed through urine, not pushed out through your skin. And finally, be mindful of coffee, alcohol, and greasy, processed foods. These put a heavy load on your liver and digestive system and are dehydrating. When the primary systems are overloaded, your body is forced to use secondary routes, like your skin, to eliminate waste. Your mouth can be the biggest betrayer of your efforts. Even with a clean body, bad breath can create that invisible wall. The fix is a disciplined, 3-step routine. Step 1. Brush 3 times a day. Morning, after lunch, and before bed. This isn't negotiable in a dry mouth. Step 2. Scrape your tongue every single morning. Your tongue's rough surface is a carpet of bacteria. A toothbrush just moves them around. A proper tongue scraper, which costs a few dollars, physically removes the entire foul-smelling biofilm. It is the single most effective thing you can do for your breath. Step 3. Chew sugar-free gum containing xylitol after meals. Xylitol is a miracle ingredient. Bacteria eat it but cannot metabolize it, so they essentially starve. It also stimulates the saliva you desperately need. Finally, let's talk about your environment. You can be perfectly clean, but if you put on a shirt that has old oils trapped in its fibers, you will not smell fresh. 1. Underwear and socks are one-day items. Period. Cotton is best as it breathes. 2. Wash bedding weekly in hot water. This includes sheets and, most importantly, pillowcases. Your face and scalp oils seep into them every night. Pro tip: add a cup of white vinegar to the rinse cycle. It is a natural deodorizer that breaks down the very oils that trap 2-nonenal. 3. Rotate your shoes religiously. Let them air out in the sun if possible. 4. Air out your home for 10 minutes every morning and evening. Stagnant air traps odors and clings to everything, including you. Let's bring this all home. I want to look you in the eye and say this one more time. Having a change in your scent as you age does not mean you are dirty. It means your body is living its story. It is a natural, biological chapter. But it is not a chapter that has to be defined by distance, self-doubt, or loneliness. You now have the knowledge. You have the roadmap. Drinking warm water, taking a gentle stroll, cleaning with intention, eating vibrant foods, caring for your mouth, and refreshing your environment. These are not chores. They are profound acts of self-respect and self-love. They are the tools to tear down that invisible wall. You deserve to walk into a room and radiate confidence. You deserve to scoop up your grandchild for a long, lingering hug. You deserve to feel, in your own skin, clean, vibrant, and cherished. No matter your age. The stories of Evelyn, Sarah, Tom, and Paul are not fairy tales. They are testaments to the power of small, consistent actions. They reclaimed their closeness. They rediscovered their confidence. They feel like themselves again. So I ask you to let go of any lingering shame. Replace it with knowledge. Replace it with action. And carry an immense sense of pride in the beautiful effort you are making. Not just to smell better, but to live more fully. Aging is not the end of freshness. It is the beginning of wisdom, gentle power, and unshakable dignity. Now, I want to hear from you. What was the single most surprising or helpful tip you learned today? Please Share your biggest takeaway in the comments below. Your insight could be the exact thing someone else needs to read to start their own journey. If this video has helped you feel seen, understood, and empowered, please take a moment to give it a like and share it with a friend or a loved one who deserves to have this knowledge too. And to continue receiving practical, life-changing content designed specifically for aging with grace and clarity, hit that subscribe button and become part of our supportive community. We are honored to be on this journey with you. Be sure to click the notification bell, because our next video is one you cannot afford to miss. We will reveal the 5 so-called healthy foods that are secretly destroying your sleep quality after the age of 60. The answers will absolutely shock you. Thank you for your time and your trust.